Disclaimer, this is a voiceover and not my own. I'm too shy for that. To say McLaren is being mismanaged is an understatement, both in regards to the drivers as well as the overall development of the car this season. I want to steal a few minutes of your time to talk about what I believe is causing the drop in Oscar's form, what caused Lando's at the start of the year, as well as what can be done to salvage both of their title hopes. First of all, can any of us say we are genuinely shocked or surprised by the double DSQ? Well, the team posted a statement in the aftermath about how the plank wear was something they hadn't seen during free practice, and it caught them off guard. I don't entirely believe that to be true. I watched all of this week's sessions, excluding FP3, and from the cockpit and onboard angles, you can noticeably see a lot of bouncing around from both Lando and Oscar, a good indication the car is sitting too low and porpoising more than expected and what should be normal. There were reports from Brazil that they had only just barely scraped by the acceptable plank and skid block wear by a narrow margin. This indicates, at least in my opinion anyway, that this isn't a new issue, as the team indicates in their statement. Both drivers are excellent at being able to understand the car, and when it feels off, I don't doubt for a second both drivers communicated this feedback back to the team, so why was the issue seemingly not corrected? If it wasn't corrected then, can we be confident they won't make the same mistakes for the remaining races? The team also hasn't brought any major upgrades since late October for Austin, and confirmed they would shift focus to next season. The team explained Lando was showing enough pace that had them confident the driver's title wouldn't be under threat. This statement is odd in regards to only speaking of one driver and not the other, but I will touch on that later on. Earlier on in the year at the Canadian GP, Oscar turned down upgrades to the suspension as he wasn't confident in how the car was handling after testing with the new parts. Lando was able to adjust to it quite comfortably, and had it not been for the unfortunate prang in the closing stages of the race, it's easy to have predicted a podium, which they unfortunately missed out on, due to ending the race under safety car conditions. It is a shame that we missed out on a bit more of a battle between the two McLarens, but we did get a nice fight for a little while. As of writing and the most recent information, Oscar still hasn't accepted the upgrade, which is still being made an option for him. Other upgrades this season have included changes to bodywork, the underfloor, the now infamous brake ducts, as well as a major change to the rear wing, most of which proved to be a massive success, with both drivers praising how the car was feeling after receiving the upgrades. There's been talk of sabotage towards Oscar's car, as well as favoritism towards Lando from Zak Brown, but is there any truth to this? Let's have a look at Oscar's side first. Do I think there's an active attempt to sabotage the Australian's car? No, that is a wild claim and I doubt there's any truth to it at all. Oscar's drop in form can be marked at Monza earlier this year. His last win came in Belgium in what was a thrilling race once it actually started. I unfortunately feel that there is a slight bias towards Lando from Zak, but when you consider how long the Brit has been at the team for compared to Oscar, it's not exactly unusual. What is, however, is the team reluctance to say or admit they do have a preferred driver, and dragging it out for as long as they have been. It's fair to say Lando has also had his fair share of struggles and bad luck this season, but to make race calls that result in your championship leader, who is also your driver, losing points, does not help the argument of there being a bias towards one driver over the other. Finally, I want to touch on the recent controversy that was the team celebrating winning the Constructors' title with one driver and not the other. Initial statements by the team noted how the celebration wasn't planned in advance, but was rather impromptu after it became clear Mercedes would be unable to catch up in the points fight. However, it was later noted that the team was told, in the event they won, the drivers would still be expected to fulfill their regular post-race media duties. No matter what way the team tries to spin the story, it does not paint them in a positive light. On one side, you have them breaking orders and celebrating with one driver due to not being able to inform both drivers on time. But on the flip side, assuming the comments of the team being informed it was a celebration without the drivers is correct, it's still a bad image to have allowed a driver to be up there at all. As a fan of both drivers, Oscar being a fellow Australian and Lando being one of the most important voices on athletes' mental health, it's frustrating to see the bosses at McLaren seemingly not putting any effort into keeping the rumours and speculation of bias under control. I think I can say this on behalf of a lot of fans, but the backlash of outright declaring who is your number one driver and who is number two would be far less extreme than the backlash the team has received due to the blatant mismanagement of the drivers. Both drivers will unfortunately see a title win as a spoiled and tainted one, rather than a title earned on merit. And that's the part of this saga that hurts the most. McLaren needs to do better, and their drivers also deserve better. Thank you for watching to the end if you are still here. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe have some more clarity around the controversy. I plan on releasing another longer video on my subscriber lap challenge sometime this week if all goes according to plan. Until then, I hope you all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon as we head to Qatar, which I'm sure will be an exciting race.